everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today I'll be showing you my May plan with me for my bullet journal spread. So first off, in Procreate, I just drew these little Animal Crossing style Nook leaves and May in the Animal Crossing logo style, and then in the font style, I made days of the week for my weekly spreads. So once I drew those in Procreate, I cut them out using my Cricut Pro. And I did originally plan on showing you me drawing these in Procreate, but for some reason, I just had so much trouble with this font and with drawing these. I don't know if it's because of how like serif it is or how goofy it is, but when it comes to like duplicating fonts, it's just impossible for me. So I just quickly sped through all that and showed you that I now have these really cool stickers. And so now going into my bullet journal, I love this little Aries sticker that I got for my birthday. I'm going to show you my April flip through. So my April theme was Harry Potter in honor of owls, which I did participate in. And my cover page, I thought it'd be cute to do the Marauders map on top of my map. So it's my cover page and my map, sorry, not my map, my monthly calendar all in one. So then now I glued in the little owl's invitation with the prompts and the letter, and then my career choice, which is Culinary Sorcerer, and then the 2 extra courses that I took, and I did complete all my prompts, very proud of myself. And now I just furthered my owl spread, and I wrote out all the books I read for each prompt and my monthly favorites. And so for my April spread, all these little stickers and my days of the week in April, I did print out from that I drew in Procreate, and then I printed them and cut them on my Cricut. Some of them, like the Marauders map and the April, I traced over like the actual font and map, and then some of them were freehanded, and yeah, just kind of a mix of everything. It's kind of hard to do Harry Potter styles without having those exact things and without having the font and like that Hufflepuff sign, because I am a Hufflepuff, proud and true. But yeah, so these are my weekly spreads, and then I will go back eventually at some point and glue in my little pictures that I have for my quarantine birthday, because the people I'm with did make it special, and I had a little cake and a couple presents, so at some point I'll be putting those back in there. So now going into my May spread, my cover page is going to be my Switch. So I just do that off camera since it actually was a little bit more tricky, and I had to hover over my page more than I usually have to. So I'm using the Sakura Pigma Microns in 08 to draw that, and then I'm using my Zebra Mildliner brush pens to color it in. And so I did my double blue controllers, because as you can see I actually have double blue controllers on my Switch, and then just gray for the outlines, because I wanted to keep it kind of light. I didn't want to have a completely, black area for the screen. And then I'm just taking my biggest May sticker, and then once I kind of place that, you'll see me go in and cut it with an X-Acto knife. And that's just because I hate when things are kind of folded over, so that when I close it, my bullet journal doesn't like completely close flat. So usually if I have something like this that I want to spread over 2 pages, I'll just cut it with my X-Acto knife and then kind of fiddle with it and mess with it so it looks continuous, but it's not, just so that the book can lie a little bit more flat. And then it was looking kind of plain, so I just go in and kind of doodle some leaves all over the actual screen on my Switch. And I tried to draw the leaves that are on the actual trees in the game of Animal Crossing, but it just ended up looking really bad. So you'll see progressively the leaves get a little bit better, and that's just because I'm not trying to do the leaves from the game, because for some reason I just couldn't do it, but that's fine. And so now I'm just using kind of like the off blue teal color that the Zebra Mildliner brush pen comes in, because this teal actually ended up matching my Nook leaf sticker color almost perfectly. So you'll see that after this spread I kind of realized that, and then I use this marker throughout the rest of my spreads instead of the blue and gray. Okay, now on this next couple pages, I'm going to be doing my island tracker spread and then my monthly favorites. So For my island tracker spread, I'm kind of ripping out this parchment paper that I have and making it look kind of rough, almost as if it was kind of the DIYs that you pick up off the side of the beach. I was kind of picturing that, like, if I was actually, in the game and I was legit picking these things up off the beach, that it would just kind of be crumpled little scrap papers. So that's kind of why I did it. I don't know, kind of silly, but I thought it worked well. And then to kind of glue those in, I'm using this Elmer's double-sided tape runner, kind of like the Tombow one that I think that a lot of people use, but this one's available at Walmart, literally 2 minutes down the street from me, and the refills are super cheap, so this is the one that I use, and I love it. It's super sticky. I've never had any problems with it. And then I'm just using my gray mild liner to kind of do a little bit of like funky calligraphy for my titles over that parchment paper, and then I went ahead and stuck in some of my extra large kind of Nook leaf stickers. So for the top here, I'm going to be doing a turnip tracker, so I can track my turnip prices and my buying and selling prices, or I think just my buying prices and then how much I buy. And then on the second one, the second just kind of empty box, it's just going to be an island idea kind of space. So anything that I'm kind of playing around with, any like spur of the moment ideas I have, I can just write down here and like have them all in the same place. So then when I go to like Terraform or whatever it is, I kind of have an idea of things that I've been thinking about or anything that might pop into my head during work or whatever that may be. And so then I'm just going in here and then spreading out or dividing each day by 2 so I can track my AM and PM prices. And then on Sunday, you'll see that I accidentally divided the day into 2, and then I decided that I didn't want to do that, so I'll fix it using some of the extra sticker paper that I printed my stickers onto. That's kind of like one of my hacks, is that when I mess up in my bullet journal, I'll just go ahead and cut a piece of sticker paper to size and then just stick it over. And on Sundays, I'll write down what my prices were on my island, even if I didn't buy my turnips on my island, and then how many turnips I bought roughly. So I don't really track how much I made, because sometimes I sell them all at once, sometimes I buy 2 inventories, sometimes I buy 1. So selling them is kind of sporadic throughout the week for me, whether I use like a Reddit page or not, but yeah, I don't know. I just thought it'd be a lot of work to kind of track that, so I only track the things on my island. And then actually, real quick, the reason why I have 5 weeks listed in May instead of 4 is because for the 1st and 2nd of May, which is on, I believe, Thursday, Friday, I could be wrong, I forget already, quarantine, I can't think about anything like that. But anyways, I didn't include kind of like those first couple days and the end of that week in my April spreads for some reason, so now I have to have a complete extra week in my May spreads to kind of accommodate for that. So that's why I have 5 weeks in May, even though there isn't really 5 weeks in May. And then over here, I'm doing the same kind of style that I did for the header on the left side, over on the right side for my monthly favorites. I'm doing it on the bottom of the page to kind of have some balance, so it's not quite so heavy. And plus also, when you're pasting in things like this into your bullet journal, your pages get kind of thick and your book won't lie closed as flat. So sometimes I just think that it's nice to balance the top and bottom, so then if your pages are going to puff open a little, it's not all kind of at the top, like it's kind of spread out throughout your bullet journal. I don't know, it makes sense to me. And then, so to draw my little boxes and to have consistency on my box sizes, I use this little, I guess kind of stencil thing you can call it, that my mom got for me off Etsy by Ink by Jen G, and I believe that she does have a YouTube or social media or something for her bullet journals, which I don't follow. I probably should, but I love her Etsy store, and this little stencil makes it so easy to just do boxes, to do calendars, to do anything, because if you're like me, no matter how many times I count my dots and like pencil out everything and like sketch before I go in with pen or whatever, somehow I always mess it up and I always have uneven number of boxes. But ever since I've had this, that problem has gone away from me, and it also just makes my bullet journaling a little bit faster because I'm not constantly having to count out every little thing. I'll just kind of put the stencil over the page, see kind of what size works, and then even for like on my monthly favorites where I spread it out, I still know that I'm going to use like whatever it is, like the 7 times size box size, so I can just use the little holes on the stencil to make sure that my boxes are all even. And so then now I'm just going back in and detailing my cover spread and adding in little details here or there that I might have missed that I kind of realized that I like doing those monthly trackers. Usually, as the more I progress throughout my spreads, the more I'll like kind of backtrack and make my earlier spreads less basic. So you'll see me kind of go back and do that here and there. So then I used my stencil again to go ahead and mark out my weekly spreads. And so in this video, I'm actually going to be showing you my entire May plan with me, so all my weekly spreads as well, just because of coronavirus. I'm bored. I have nothing else to do. But then at the same time, I ended up neglecting my bullet journal in April because, I don't know, it just wasn't set up for me and I just couldn't be bothered to do it. And I'm doing a lot of work at home, so I don't know. I just thought it'd be easier and more convenient to do all my May spreads at one time. And then especially since I don't have much going on in May, I'm trying out all of my weekly spreads as Dutch doors. So we'll see how this works. I really like it right now during coronavirus, but I don't know if I'm going to like it once I'm actually super busy. But right now I think it's kind of cool, and I kind of like having all my weekly spreads be like notched in from like my monthly spreads. So it's kind of like each month is like notched in on my bullet journal, if that kind of makes sense. So I'm just going back in, trying to make each week a little bit different than the next one, even though they're all using the same kind of May sticker and my daily stickers, and then like using the parchment paper in my stickers and all those things, and like doodling little stars here and there and trying to make each spread just a little bit different. And then a couple things here. So, one, when you're trying to rip paper so it looks natural, but you kind of want it to all be in the same place, using a ruler is a really good trick for that, because it'll still kind of stay like kind of near the ruler. You can get a really clean cut if you want, but it also works if you kind of want more of like a natural cut. And then as I'm wrapping up these weekly spreads and adding in my little details, so this page, this to the far left, the full size page, you'll see that later I put in some parchment paper there because I was going to glue in a little watercolor piece that I did, but then I realized that I didn't actually make a May calendar. So I think that the next week after I made this, I realized that and I put in my calendar there. So if you want to see that, you can see it on my Instagram. But for now, it's blank. And again, I blame the coronavirus. My brain isn't working. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what day of the week it is. So here is my May flip through. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to find me on Instagram or comment down below, and I'll try to answer all of them. I hope you guys have a great rest of your month of May. Drink some Corona like me, and we'll get through this together. Thanks, guys.